Show me the visions of your mind. To see the world of things that seem so hard to find.
Runcam Racer Nano. Guys, I'm very excited about this camera because I really want to find a very good camera for these little micro toothpick things that we fly. These ultralights, and I think this is one of the, I mean, there might be a lot more coming out soon, but as of now, this might be the best one for these quads. Let me tell you what I did to mine to mod it, because as you can see right here, this is not the original lens. I'm always talking about my little special lens here that I use, and one of the major features of this that I didn't even mention in my last video is the fact that you get very excellent weight savings with this, because this camera weighs about 4 point something grams maybe. Changing to this lens, you're going to save yourself at least 1.5 grams, or maybe a bit more than that. Yeah, great field of view this thing is. This lens says it is a 2.3 millimeter or something like that. It is much wider than that. So yeah, I'm going to leave a link in the description to this lens. It is a bit difficult to put it in because you don't have a locking ring. It kind of tightens down, and then you have to probably use some glue or something to hold it in place. It can be a pain in the ass to actually get this to stay in there. However, guys, here I'll show you the difference between the sensors of the EOS 2 and the sensor of the Runcam Racer. Here you can see they're very similar. Of course, the sensor size makes a difference because it affects your field of view. The EOS 2 actually has a slightly, ever so slightly wider sensor. So you will get more vertical and horizontal field of view, just ever so slightly. And so the difference isn't very big here. When I had the FXT T80, the field of view of that one was much wider with the same lens because the sensor is bigger than the EOS 2. So here I'm mainly going to be showing you the difference between the Runcam Racer Nano and the EOS 2, which is what most of us are using in this class. So as you can see here, I've managed to stuff this in here. My lens is a little bit scuffed, but yeah, this works quite fine. I wish I could take the camera out and show you exactly what it looks like, but you know, you probably see other videos of what it looks like. It's literally the same dimensions of the EOS 2. However, when you first get this camera, you might be a bit disappointed because the image is not optimized. The settings don't seem to be that optimized. And I will show you here. First of all, to me, the camera seemed a little bit dim. Dim meaning that, oh, you know, you might think it's going to be, oh, very, you know, like just cloudy or whatever. It's actually a pretty good image, but it's just, I know it could be brighter. Especially if you fly the EOS 2 and then fly this, you can see the image is a little bit dim. Very good dynamic range, but just a dim image. And I had this problem with the Runcam Sparrow 2, and this one probably is the same sensor. It's more similar to that camera, it seems. So yeah, I'm glad that they managed to shrink down that technology and put it into this size. But here I have I'll show you my settings that I've used. So first things first, I turned up the contrast. The contrast, you'd think to turn up the brightness, but the brightness washes it out. The contrast makes the bright more bright and the black point more dark. So it actually brings out the image much more. Second thing I did, I left on sharp view, and then I turned the sharpness down some. As you can see here, these are the numbers that I came up with. And here is the result. And there's another thing I must mention. This lens already has this super view effect, and then when you turn on the 16:9 mode in this camera, it makes that effect even more pronounced. And some of you might not like it. So you can take off the 16:9, you won't lose any field of view. It's basically just stretching the edges of the image to fit a 16:9 monitor, but keeping the middle of the image in its correct aspect ratio so it doesn't feel like you're going sick when you're moving around. So that's it. Looking at this image here that I'm showing, this is with the 16:9 mode on, so you have that super view effect in the camera, and you also have the lens giving you that added super view effect. Also, I fly this with PAL and not NTSC, so the image you're seeing is PAL has more resolution, and to me PAL is a lot more pleasing to look at, except the motion is a lot more sticky. So I'm thinking if in certain situations where I want to get more resolution, I will switch to PAL. If I want to go really fast and just zip around, then I'll switch to NTSC. Maybe, you know, I don't know. It's up to you what you like, but I prefer a PAL image because better image quality, and yeah, everything just looks better here. So guys, comparing this to the EOS 2, it's day and night difference, literally. Here you can see that I'm flying and this is not so optimal time of day. And here you can see the EOS 2 and at the same time it looks absolutely atrocious. The EOS 2 is a great camera if the lighting is good. And night performance really sucks with the EOS. Like, I mean, these little quads, you want to be able to fly them anywhere, anytime. And if it's night, you cannot really fly with an EOS 2 because it looks rather crummy. Yeah, with the Runcam Racer, it's not the best image I've seen. The FXT T81, whatever, it had the best night performance. Like no other camera in this size had beat that one. I fried that one, by the way, so that's why I'm not. You don't see it in this video. Not fried it. I actually just tried to change the casing and damaged it. So whatever. I need to find another one. It's hard to get that back, but whatever. There might be other cameras coming up soon. I am very glad to see that they were able to use the same sensor that I liked from the original Foxeer Predator and the Runcam Sparrow and make it into this tiny package. Runcam has done an excellent job here, and I really think this is a very good contender for this size, this class. Yeah, you can see everything. The thing with these sensors is not perfect. I've noticed that in certain conditions, like the trees will lose their definition, and I think this is well known. Foxeer Predator does this as well. It's because of the wide dynamic range algorithm. It turns like some dark areas just become a blob, just a mess of just no detail. Since turning up the contrast, however, I do notice that it kind of fixes that just a little bit. It's not perfect. In some cases, you can see with the EOS, there's way more detail in like the shadows. I mean, it's hard to say because when you say no shadow detail, usually it means that you can't really see anything there. But with the Runcam Racer, you do see that there's something there, but it loses like the definition. You definitely can see everything, but it's just that the definition is a little bit different. That has to do with the algorithm. I don't know how these lenses really work. Maybe there's a double scan system where it deals with the highlights and the dark differently in each scan, and then it combines them together to make this kind of a high dynamic range photo video look. I quite like it. I think a lot of cameras in the future are going to have this same technology. Even with the Cadex Turtle, it has the same kind of features in there. Anyway, guys, I could go on, but there are other features in this camera like the gesture control. I have not even tried that, so you know I'm not going to be changing scenes. I think I just want one that works for most cases. But you do have that option in there, so that's another good thing. So yeah. Anyway, guys, happy flying and thanks for watching. So here I will show you the different weights. This is my little special lens that I use, and we got the Cadex here, EOS 2, and we got the Runcam lens, just the lens, because I have the camera already installed. I don't want to have to pull it out and wait. So the lens alone from this weighs 2 grams. Of course, we don't know 2 point whatever because this doesn't go that far down. But right, this is 2 grams. This one doesn't even register. It's probably 0.5 or something. But that's why I use this also. Not only do you get a nice image, it's also light. I don't know why they have to make these lenses so heavy. But I guess it does have better optics, to be honest. But we don't really need this for these little tiny things. EOS is showing up as 3 grams. It's supposed to be 4. Well, I don't know. This scale is a bit wonky. Oh, there we go, 4. So 2 of which belongs to the lens. Basically, the camera body is 2 grams and the lens is 2 grams. So let's see. Camera body alone, 2 grams. There we go. So that's how much weight you're saving by using this lens.